Captain Li Ju-woo stood on the bridge of the human research ship, Harmony's Edge, and watched the stars through the big window. The ship was flying through deep space, looking for new planets and strange things in the galaxy. It was a normal day, just like many others in the past 3 months. "Captain, we have something on the scanner," said Officer Kim Tae-yoon from his seat. His voice was excited but also worried. "It's big, really big." Ji-woo walked over to look. At the screen, what she saw made her eyes go wide. There were 20 alien ships coming toward them. Ships were huge and looked very dangerous, had strange shapes and colors that hurt to look at. "Are they friendly?" asked Ji-woo. "We don't know yet, Captain," said Kim Tae-yeon. "But they're not shooting at us." Commander Kang Min-ho came running onto the bridge. He was the ship's weapons expert and always knew what to do when there was danger. "Captain, those are Velthrian ships. I've seen pictures of them before. They're very advanced," and Ji-woo nodded. She had heard of the Velthrians. They were one of the most powerful alien races in the galaxy. Their technology was supposed to be hundreds of years ahead of human technology. Most humans thought the Velthrians could destroy Earth easily if they wanted to. "They're sending us a message," said Kim Tae-yeon. "Put it on the screen," said Ji-woo. The screen showed a tall blue alien with 4 arms and big black eyes. It looked strange, but not scary. The alien started to speak in perfect English. "Human ship. This is Admiral Dexvar of the Velthrian Confederation. We come in peace. We want to talk." Ji-woo was surprised. She had never talked to an alien before. "This is Captain Lee Gi-woo of the human ship Harmony's Edge. We are happy to talk with you." "Good," said the alien. "We have heard much about humans. Your people are very famous in this part of the galaxy." "Famous?" asked Ji-woo. "For what?" The alien smiled, which looked very strange on its blue face. "For your weapons, of course. Human weapons are the best in the galaxy. Everyone knows this." Looked at Commander Kang Min-ho. He looked just as confused as she felt. Human weapons were good, but they were not the best. The Velthrians had laser cannons that could destroy planets. Krillians had shields that could stop anything. Human weapons were simple compared to alien technology. "I think there's been a mistake," said Gi-woo. "Our weapons are not that advanced." "It's no mistake," said Admiral Dexvar. "We would like to invite some of your people to our ship. We have things to show you. Things that will surprise you very much." Ji-woo thought for a moment. This could be dangerous, but it could also be very important. "We will send a small team." 1 hour later, Ji-woo, Commander Kang Min-ho, and Dr. Park So-min were on the Velthrian ship. Dr. Park was their best scientist and knew a lot about alien technology. The inside of the alien ship was beautiful and strange. Everything was blue and silver, and the walls seemed to glow. Admiral Dexvar led them to a big room full of weapons. But these were not alien weapons. These were human weapons, or at least they looked like human weapons. "These are our best weapons," said the Admiral, "all based on human designs." Commander Kang Min-ho picked up a rifle. It looked like a human plasma rifle, but it was bigger and had strange alien symbols on it. "This is impossible. We never gave you our weapon designs." "No, you didn't give them to us," said Admiral Dexvar, "but we got them anyway. Every major power in the galaxy has human weapons now. We buy them, steal them, or copy them." Dr. Park So-min was looking at a huge cannon. "This fusion core design, this is from the Human Defense Force, but it's been changed. It's made better." "Yes," said the Admiral. "Yes. We take your weapons and make them work better with our technology. But the basic design is always human. Human weapons are different from all other weapons in the galaxy." "Different how?" asked Ji-woo. The Admiral walked to a big screen on the wall. It showed a space battle. 2 alien fleets were fighting each other. Ships were shooting bright beams of light at each other. "Watch carefully," said the Admiral. "The ships on the left have normal alien weapons. The ships on the right have human-designed weapons." Ji-woo watched as the battle played out. The ships with human weapons were winning easily. Their shots were more accurate and did more damage. The other ships were being destroyed quickly. "The battle lasted only 15 minutes, said Admiral Dexvar. "Before human weapons, space battles took hours or even days. Now they are over. Very fast. Commander Kong Minho was still holding the plasma rifle. But why are human weapons so much better? We're new to space. We've only been traveling to other stars for 50 years. That is exactly why, said the Admiral. Other races have been peaceful for thousands of years. We make weapons to defend ourselves, not to attack, but humans. Humans have been fighting each other for all of their history. Dr. Park So-min nodded slowly. You mean we're better at making weapons because we've had more practice? Much more practice, said the Admiral. Every human weapon is designed to kill efficiently, to cause fear, to win battles quickly. This is not how other races think. The Admiral showed them more weapons. There were human-designed bombs, human-designed missiles, and human-designed defense systems. All of them had been improved by alien technology, but the basic ideas were human. The Carillion Empire won their last war using human orbital bombardment systems, said the Admiral. The Nexari Republic was completely destroyed by human-designed planet crackers. The Zephyrian Collective only survived because they bought human defense shields. Giwu felt sick. You're saying that human weapons have been used to destroy entire civilizations? Yes, said the Admiral, and this is why we wanted to meet you. The humans are the most dangerous race in the galaxy, but they don't know it. Commander Kong Minho put down the rifle. How long has this been going on? About 50 years, said the Admiral. Ever since the first human ship crashed on Velthrian space, we found the wreckage and studied the weapons. Couldn't believe how advanced they were. Advanced? Asked Dr. Park So-min. They were just basic laser cannons. Basic to you, said the Admiral, but revolutionary to us. The way humans think about warfare is completely different. You design weapons that are meant to terrify your enemies, to make them give up before they even start fighting. Jiwoo looked around the room full of human-designed weapons. Each one looked dangerous and scary. She had never noticed it before, but human weapons did look frightening. They were built to look mean. What happens now? Asked Giwu. Now you know the truth, said Admiral Vexfar. Humans are not the weak new race you think you are. You are the weapon masters of the galaxy, and everyone is afraid of you. The three humans looked at each other. They had come to space thinking they were small and weak. Now they were learning that they were the most feared race in the galaxy. We need to get back to our ship, said Jiwoo. We need to tell Earth about this. Yes, said the Admiral, but be careful. When the galaxy learns that humans know about their weapon superiority, everything will change. There will be those who want to destroy you before you become too powerful. As they returned to the Harmony's edge, Jiwoo's mind was racing. Everything they thought they knew about humanity's place in the galaxy was wrong. We're not the newcomers. Trying to catch up with advanced alien civilizations, they were the ones everyone else was trying to catch up with. The question now was, what were they going to do about it? 3 days after meeting the Velthrians, Captain Lee Ji-woo called a meeting in the ship's main room. All the important officers were there. Everyone looked worried and confused. What we learned changes everything, said Ji-woo. But we need to know more. We need to find out how our weapons got spread across the galaxy. Lieutenant Kim Dong-yoon raised his hand. He was young, but very smart about finding secrets and solving mysteries. Captain, I've been looking at our computer files. I found something. Strange, what did you find? Asked Commander Kang Minho. 3 years ago, a transport ship called New Soul disappeared near the edge of human space. The ship was carrying military supplies to our colony on Mars. But here's the strange part. The ship wasn't really going to Mars. Dr. Park So-min leaned forward. Where was it going? According to the secret files I found, it was going to a place called Trader's Moon. That's a space station where aliens buy and sell things illegally. Captain Ji-woo felt her stomach drop. Are you saying someone was selling our weapons on purpose? I think so, Captain. And I think I know who? Kim Dong-yoon put a picture on the big screen, showed a woman with short black hair and cold eyes. She was wearing expensive clothes and standing next to alien creatures. This is Choi Yuna. She used to work for the Human Defense Force. She was in charge of weapon research. But she left 5 years ago and disappeared. I remember her, said Commander Kong Minho. She was brilliant. She helped design our new plasma. rifles and fusion bombs. But she was always talking about making money. Well, it looks like she found a way, said Kim Dong-yoon. I've been tracking her through the Galactic network. She's been selling human weapons to aliens for at least 4 years. Dr. Park So-man shook her head. One person couldn't spread our weapons across the entire galaxy. You're right, said Kim Dong-yoon. She's not working alone. She has a whole organization. They steal weapons from human ships, copy our designs, and sell them to whoever pays the most. Captain Ji-woo stood up and walked to the window. She could see the Veltharian ships still flying nearby. How many weapons are we talking about? Thousands, Captain. Maybe tens of thousands. That's just what I could find in a few days. Room was quiet for a long moment. Everyone was thinking about what this meant. We need to find her, said Ji-woo. We need to stop this before it gets worse. It might already be too late, said Dr. Park So-man. Admiral HFY said our weapons have been used in 3 major wars. How many people have died because of what Choi Yuna did? Kim Dong-yoon pulled up more pictures on the screen. They showed destroyed planets and dead cities. The Krillian Empire used human orbital bombs to destroy the Nexari Republic. 50 billion aliens died in one day. Oh no, whispered someone. In the room, the Nexari were peaceful. They made beautiful music and art. They never hurt anyone. But they couldn't defend themselves against human weapons. Commander Kong Min-ho hit the table with his fist. This is wrong. Our weapons are meant to protect humans, not kill innocent aliens. There's more, said Kim Dong-yoon. I found records of weapon sales to the Brutaxian war machine. They used human neutron bombs to wipe out an entire star system. Captain Ji-woo felt sick. How is this possible? How did one person cause so much death? She didn't do it alone, said a new voice. Everyone turned to see Officer Lee Hannah walking into the room. She was the ship's communication expert and looked very upset. I've been listening to alien radio signals, said Lee Hannah. There's a whole black market for human weapons. Space stations, secret meetings, hidden factories. It's huge. How huge? Asked Ji-woo. Bigger than any of us imagined. There are aliens who make their living just by copying human weapons.
Right there.
Are planets where the only industry is making fake human guns? Dr. Park So-man looked at the data on her computer. This explained something that was bothering me. When I looked at the Veltharian weapons, they weren't just copied. They were improved. Someone had to teach the aliens how to make them better. Choi Yuna, said Commander Kong Min-ho. She's not just selling weapons. She's teaching aliens how to build them and how to use them, added Kim Dong-yoon. I found records of alien military training programs. They're learning human battle tactics. Captain Ji-woo walked back to the table. Where is Choi Yuna now? According to my sources, she's on a space station called Dark Harbor. It's a neutral space, far from any government control. It's where all the illegal trading happens. We have to go there, said Ji-woo. Captain, that's very dangerous, said Commander Kong Min-ho. Dark Harbor is full of criminals and killers. If they know we're humans looking for Choi Yuna, they might attack us. Then we'll have to be careful, said Ji-woo. Kim Dong-yoon. Can you get us fake identities? I can try, Captain. But aliens will know we're human just by looking at us. Dr. Park So-man had an idea. What if we pretend to be weapon buyers? We could say we want to buy human weapons for our own use. That might work, said Lee Hannah. I've heard alien communications about humans who work as mercenaries. Soldiers for hire. Good, said Ji-woo. We'll pretend to be mercenaries looking to buy the best weapons. That should get us close to Choi Yuna's operation. What about the Veltharians? Asked Commander Kong Min-ho. Should we tell Admiral Dexvar what we're doing? Not yet, said Ji-woo. I don't know if we can trust them. They might be buying weapons from Choi Yuna too. Kim Dong-yoon was looking at his computer screen. Captain, I found something else. Something bad. What now? There's going to be a big weapon auction on Dark Harbor in 2 days. Choi Yuna is selling something special. Something she calls the ultimate human arsenal. What does that mean? Asked Dr. Park So-man. I don't know, but the aliens are very excited about it. The price is already up to 10 million galactic credits. Captain Ji-woo made her decision. We're going to Dark Harbor. We're going to stop that auction and arrest Choi Yuna. What if she has guards? Asked Commander Kong Minho. Then we'll have to fight them, said Jiwoo, with our own human weapons. The irony was not lost on anyone in the room. If we're going to use human weapons to stop someone from selling human weapons, and this is our fault, said Dr. Park Soman quietly. We created these weapons. We're responsible. For all the death they've caused, no, said Captain Jiwoo firmly. Choi Yuna is responsible. She chose to sell our weapons to killers. She chose to help destroy innocent civilizations. We're going to stop her. And then what? Asked Lihana. Even if we stop Choi Yuna, there are thousands of human weapons already out there. The aliens know how to make them now, and we'll figure out what to do about that too, said Jiwoo, one problem at a time. As the meeting ended, everyone went to prepare for the dangerous journey to Dark Harbor. Captain Jiwoo stayed in the room alone. Looking at the pictures of destroyed worlds on the screen, she thought about the Nexari and their beautiful music that would never be heard again. She thought about all the innocent aliens who had died because one human woman wanted to get rich. But she also thought about something else. If human weapons were really the most powerful in the galaxy, then humans had a responsibility. They had to make sure their weapons were used to protect people, not destroy them. The journey to Dark Harbor would be dangerous. But it was the first step in fixing the terrible mistake that Choi Yuna had made. The question was, would they be too late to stop the next catastrophe? The Harmony's Edge was flying toward Dark Harbor when Captain Lee Jiwoo called another meeting. This time, she wanted to understand something important. Why were human weapons so much better than alien weapons? We need to know what makes our weapons special, said Jiwoo. If we're going to deal with this problem, we need to understand it first. Chief Engineer Lim Hyok was sitting at the table with a pile of weapon parts in front of him. He had been taking apart human and alien weapons for the past 2 days. I think I know the answer, said Lim Hyok. But you're not going to like it. Tell us, said Commander Kong Minho. Lim Hyok picked up a human plasma rifle and an alien energy weapon. Look at these 2 guns. The alien weapon is more advanced. It uses better materials and has more complex technology. But watch what happens when I fire them. He aimed both weapons at a metal target across the room. The alien weapon made a quiet buzzing sound and shot a clean, precise beam, made a small, neat hole in the target. Then he fired the human weapon. It made a loud, angry sound that echoed through the room. The shot tore a huge, jagged hole in the target and left burning edges around it. The alien weapon is technically better, said Lim Hyok. But the human weapon is designed to be scary. It's designed to make the enemy afraid. Dr. Park Soman was studying the data on her computer. That's interesting. But why does that make it more effective in battle? 'Cause fear is a weapon too, said a new voice. Everyone turned to see Dr. Shin Borum walking into the room. She was the ship's historian and knew a lot about human wars. Dr. Shin, said Captain Jiwoo, we were hoping you could help us understand this. I've been researching human military history, said Dr. Shin Borum, and I found something that explains everything. She put up a picture on the screen. It showed Earth from space, but it was covered in red marks. These are all the wars that happened on Earth in the last 1,000 years, said Dr. Shin Borum. There were over 15,000 major wars. Humans have been fighting each other constantly for their entire history. But that's terrible, said Dr. Park Salman. Yes, it is, said Dr. Shin Borum. But it's also why our weapons are so good. Every human weapon is designed by people who have studied thousands of battles. We know what works and what doesn't. Chief Engineer Lim Hyok nodded. Most alien races have been peaceful for thousands of years. They make weapons to defend themselves, not to attack. But humans make weapons to win wars. There's more, said Dr. Shin Borum. She showed them pictures of different human weapons through history. Look at these. Swords, guns, bombs, missiles. What do they all have in common? Lieutenant Kim Dong-yoon looked at the pictures. They all look dangerous. Even when they're not being used, they look scary. Exactly, said Dr. Shin Borum. Human weapons are designed to intimidate enemies. We want our enemies to be afraid before the battle even starts. But why? Asked Dr. Park Soman. Why not just make them more effective? The best victory is the one where you don't have to fight, said Dr. Shinborum. If your enemy is too scared to fight, you win without losing anyone. Commander Kong Minho was looking at the human plasma rifle. I never thought about it that way. But you're right. This gun looks mean. It looks like it wants to hurt someone. Oh. Look at this, said Chief Engineer Lim Hyok. He showed them an alien weapon. It was smooth and elegant, with soft curves and pleasant colors. This alien weapon is more powerful than our plasma rifle. But it looks like a piece of art, not a weapon. Aliens don't understand psychological warfare, said Dr. Shinborum. They think weapons are just tools. But humans know that weapons are also symbols. They send messages. Captain Jiwoo was beginning to understand. So when aliens see our weapons, they don't just see the technical specifications. They see the intent to intimidate. Right, said Dr. Shinborum. And that scares them more than the weapon itself. There's something else, said Chief Engineer Lim Hyok. Human weapons are designed to work in chaos. Most alien weapons need perfect conditions to work properly. But human weapons are built to work even when everything is going wrong? What do you mean? Asked Kim Dong-yoon. Look at this alien rifle, said Lim Hyok. It's very precise, but it stops working if it gets wet or dirty. Our human rifles work underwater, in sandstorms, even in the vacuum of space. Oh. That's because humans have fought in every possible condition, said Dr. Shinborum. We've had battles in deserts, jungles, oceans, and mountains. Our weapons have to work everywhere. Most aliens have only fought in space, said Dr. Park Soman. They don't need weapons that work in different environments. There's one more thing, said Dr. Shinborum. Human weapons are designed to be simple. Any soldier can use them, even under stress. She showed them a video of a human soldier using a plasma rifle. The soldier was tired, scared, and shaking, but he could still use the weapon effectively. Oh. Watch this, said Dr. Shinborum. She showed them a video of an alien soldier using an alien weapon. The alien had to input complex codes, adjust multiple settings, and aim very carefully. When the alien got nervous, he made mistakes. Our weapons are designed for real warfare, said Commander Kong Minho, not for perfect conditions. Exactly, said Dr. Shinborum. Humans have learned that in real battles, nothing goes according to plan. Our weapons reflect that knowledge. Just then, Officer Lee Hanna called from the bridge. Captain, we're getting a message from someone on Dark Harbor. Put it through, said Captain Jiwoo. The screen showed a strange alien with purple skin and 3 eyes. It looked nervous and kept looking around. Human ship, said the alien. This is Merchant Kexalon. I heard you are coming to Dark Harbor. I must warn you. The woman you seek, Choi Yuna, she is very dangerous. You know, said Captain Jiwoo. We're prepared. No, you don't understand, said Kexalon. She has learned something new. She has discovered why human weapons are so effective. She is teaching this to others. What do you mean? Asked Commander Kong Minho. She is not just selling weapons anymore, said Kexalon. She is selling the knowledge of how to think like humans, how to use fear as a weapon, how to make enemies surrender without fighting. The alien looked around again, then leaned closer. To the camera, she has created the first alien army trained in human warfare tactics. They are not just using human weapons. They are learning to fight like humans. Where is this army? Asked Captain Jiwoo. Nobody knows, said Kexalon. But they are getting ready for something big, something that will change the galaxy forever. Communication ended, leaving the humans in shocked silence. This is worse than we thought, said Dr. Park Soman. Choi Yuna isn't just selling weapons. She's teaching aliens how to be as dangerous as humans. We have to stop her, said Captain Q. Before she creates something we can't control. But how? Asked Kim Dong-yoon. If she's teaching aliens to think like humans, they might be as smart as us. No, said Dr. Shinborum. They can learn our tactics, but they can't learn our history. They don't have thousands of years of warfare in their blood. You mean we still have an advantage? Asked Commander Kong Minho. Yes, said Dr. Shinborum. Humans don't just use weapons. We understand them. We know why they work and when they don't. That's not something you can teach in a few lessons. But we can't take any chances, said Captain Jiwoo. We need to get to Dark Harbor and stop this before it's too late. As the ship continued toward Dark Harbor, everyone was thinking about what they had learned. Human weapons were superior not because of better technology, but because of human nature itself. The constant warfare that had plagued Earth for thousands of years had created the most effective military mind in the galaxy. The question now was, could they use that advantage to stop the monster they had accidentally created? Dark Harbor was the ugliest space station Captain Lee Jiwoo had ever seen. It was built from old ship parts and scrap metal. Thousands of different alien ships were docked around it like metal flies around garbage. This place gives me the creeps, said Lieutenant Kim Dong-yoon as their ship moved closer to the station. Stay alert, said Commander Kang Min-ho. Everyone here is probably armed and dangerous. Captain Jiwoo was wearing simple clothes instead of her uniform.
Ows!
They all looked like mercenaries now, thanks to Kim Dong-yoon's fake identity papers. Remember, we're here to buy weapons. Act tough, but don't start any fights. The inside of Dark Harbor was even worse than the outside. The air smelled bad and the lights were dim. Aliens of all shapes and sizes walked around, making deals and trading illegal goods. Everyone looked suspicious. The weapon auction is in Section C, whispered Kim Dong-yoon. But first we need to gather information. They walked into a bar called the Broken Blaster. It was full of alien criminals drinking strange liquids and telling lies about their adventures. The bartender was a huge creature with 6 arms and a bad attitude. What do you want, humans? Asked the bartender in broken English. Information, said Captain Jiwoo. We heard there's someone here who sells the best human weapons. Choi Yuna, said the bartender, but she doesn't talk to small buyers. You need big money. We have big money, lied Commander Kang Min-ho. The bartender laughed. Everyone says that. But Yuna only deals with governments and armies. She sold weapons to the Brutaxian war machine last month. Dr. Park Soman felt her blood turn cold. The Brutaxians. What did they buy? Neutron bombs, said the bartender proudly. Human neutron bombs. Very nasty weapons. They used them to wipe out the Harmony system. The Harmony system? Asked Captain Jiwoo. Peaceful aliens who made beautiful music, said another alien sitting at the bar. They never hurt anyone. But the Brutaxians wanted their planets. How many died? Asked Dr. Park Soman quietly. All of them, said the alien. 12 billion Harmony people. Gone in one day. The neutron bombs killed every living thing but left the planets perfect for the Brutaxians to move in.
Captain Jiwoo
felt sick. 12 billion innocent people dead because of human weapons. Because of weapons that were supposed to protect Earth. The Harmony people made the most beautiful music in the galaxy, continued the alien. Their songs could make you cry with joy. Now there will never be any new Harmony music. Ever. Commander Kang Min-ho put his hand on his weapon. Where is Choi Yuna now? Careful, human, said the bartender. Yuna has many friends here. Strong friends. The bar's main screen came on. It showed a news report from the Galactic Broadcasting Network. A serious alien reporter was talking about a recent battle. The Corvarian attack on the peaceful Melodian colonies has ended in complete victory for the Corvarians, said the reporter.
Yes.
Military experts say the Corvarians won because they used advanced human plasma cannons. The screen showed pictures of destroyed cities and fleeing aliens. Families were running with their children, trying to escape the fighting. The Melodians had no defense against human-designed weapons, continued the reporter. This marks the 4th time this year that human military technology has decided the outcome of a galactic conflict. Dr. Park Soman couldn't watch anymore. Turn it off, she said. Why? Asked an alien at a nearby table. Don't you humans like to see your weapons? Work. We're not responsible for this, said Captain Jiwoo. Yes, you are, said the alien angrily. Every human weapon in the galaxy came from your planet. Every death they cause is your fault. That's not fair, said Kim Dong-yoon. We didn't know our weapons were being sold. But you made them, said another alien. You made them to kill. And now everyone in the galaxy is afraid of you. Captain Jiwoo realized that the entire bar was now looking at them. Some aliens looked angry, okay? Others looked scared. All of them were thinking about human weapons. "We should go," whispered Commander Kong Minho. They left the bar quickly and walked through the station's corridors. Everywhere they went, aliens stared at them and whispered to each other. "They all hate us," said Dr. Park Soman. "They think we're monsters." "Can you blame them?" asked Kim Dong-yoon. From their point of view, humans are the most dangerous species in the galaxy. They found a quiet place to talk. Captain Jiwoo sat down and put her head in her hands. "What have we done? How did we become the bad guys?" "We're not the bad guys," said Commander Kang Minho. "Choi Yuna is the bad guy." "Are we?" asked Dr. Park Soman. "We made those weapons. We made them to be as deadly as possible. We never thought about who might use them or how they might be used. Our weapons were meant to protect Earth," said Captain Jiwoo. "But we made them too well," said Dr. Park Soman. "We made them so effective that they can destroy entire civilizations." Kim Dong-yoon was looking at his computer. "Captain, I found something else. Something bad." "What now?" "I accessed the station's communication system. There's a message from Earth, from the Earth government." He showed them the message on his screen. It was from General Park Jun-ho, the head of Earth's military. "To all human ships in alien territory," the message read, "you are ordered to make contact with alien governments. Earth wants to start official weapons trading agreements. Human weapons. Technology is now our most valuable export." "They want to make this official?" asked Dr. Park Soman. "This gets worse," said Kim Dong-yoon. "General Park is sending a team to negotiate with the Galactic Council. They want to set up human weapon factories in alien space." "No," said Captain Jiwoo. "They can't do this." "It's more," said Kim Dong-yoon. "The message says that any human who tries to stop weapons trading will be arrested for treason." Commander Kong Minho stood up. "So if we stop Choi Yuna, we'll be criminals too, according to Earth?" "Yes," said Kim Dong-yoon. "This is insane," said Dr. Park Soman. "Don't they understand what our weapons are doing to the galaxy?" "They understand the money," said Captain Jiwoo bitterly. "Human weapons are worth trillions of credits." "What do we do now?" asked Kim Dong-yoon. Before anyone could answer, a new voice spoke behind them. "You could join me." They turned around to see a woman with short black hair and expensive clothes. She was surrounded by 6 armed aliens. "Choi Yuna," said Commander Kong Minho.
"Hello, Minho,"
said Choi Yuna with a smile. "It's been a long time." "I heard you were asking about me. You're under arrest," said Captain Jiwoo. Choi Yuna laughed. "Arrest? For what?" "I'm doing exactly what Earth wants me to do. I'm making humans rich and powerful." "You're causing genocides," said Dr. Park Soman. "I'm giving aliens the tools they need to solve their problems," said Choi Yuna. "If they choose to use those tools for war, that's not my responsibility." 12 billion Harmony people are dead because of you, said Captain Jiwoo. "And the Brutaxians paid me 50 million credits for the weapons that killed them," said Choi Yuna. "That money went to human research projects, to human colonies, to making humanity stronger." "You're sick," said Dr. Park Soman. "I'm practical," said Choi Yuna. "The galaxy is full of violence. I didn't create that violence. I just found a way to profit from it. We're going to stop you," said Commander Kong Minho. "No, you're not," said Choi Yuna. "Because in about 10 minutes, Lieutenant Colonel Yang Temin is going to arrive on this station. He's representing the Earth's government, and he's going to offer me official protection." "Yang Temin is here," asked Captain Jiwoo. "He's here too." "Make me an official Earth ambassador," said Choi Yuna. "Earth wants to control the weapons trade, not stop it. They realize that human weapons are our path to galactic dominance." "This is wrong," said Dr. Park Soman. "This is evolution," said Choi Yuna. "Humans are the apex predators of the galaxy. It's time we started acting like it." She turned to leave, then stopped. "You can join me, or you can be left behind, but you can't stop what's already started. The age of human dominance has begun." As Choi Yuna walked away with her guards, the 4 humans stood in shocked silence. They had come to Dark Harbor to stop a criminal. Instead, they had discovered that their own government was about to make that criminal an official representative of Earth What do we do now? Asked Kim Dong-yoon. Captain Ji-woo looked at her crew. We do what's right, even if Earth calls us traitors. 2 hours after meeting Choi Yuna, Captain Lee Ji-woo received an emergency message on her ship. The communication came from Admiral Kim Seong-jin, the commander of the human colony on Kepler 44, to be Captain Ji-woo, we need help immediately, said the admiral. His face was dirty, and there were explosions in the background. The Corvarian hegemony is attacking our colony. They have a huge fleet. How many ships? Asked Commander Kong Minho. Over 200 warships, said Admiral Kim. They want to capture our weapon factories before other aliens can get to them? Dr. Park Soman felt confused. What weapon factories? We don't have weapon factories on Kepler 44 to be. We do now, said Admiral Kim sadly. Earth built them in secret 6 months ago. They've been making human weapons to sell to aliens. Captain Ji-woo couldn't believe what she was hearing. Earth has been secretly making weapons for aliens. Not just making them, said Admiral Kim. We've been improving them, making them even more deadly. The Corvarians found out and decided to attack before we could sell better weapons to their enemies. How long can you hold out? Asked Kim Dong-yoon. Not long, said Admiral Kim. We only have 50,000 colonists and a few defense ships. The Corvarians have the biggest military in this sector. We're coming to help, said Captain Ji-woo. No, Captain, said Admiral Kim. Your ship isn't a warship. You can't fight 200 enemy ships. We have to try, said Commander Kong Min-ho. The communication ended, and Captain Ji-woo made her decision. Set course for Kepler 44 to be. Maximum speed. Captain, said Dr. Park Soman. What about Choi Yuna? What about stopping the weapons trade? The weapons trade has already won, said Captain Ji-woo bitterly. Earth is making weapons officially now, but we can still save those colonists. As the Harmony's Edge flew toward Kepler 44 to be, Lieutenant Kim Dong-yoon was monitoring galactic communications. What he heard made everything worse. Captain, I'm picking up reports from across the galaxy, said Kim Dong-yoon. The news about human weapon factories has spread everywhere. What do you mean? Asked Captain Ji-woo. Every major alien civilization is mobilizing their fleets. They're all trying to capture human colonies and weapon factories. All of them? Asked Dr. Park Soman. The Zephyrian Collective is attacking the human research station on Europa. The Meridian Alliance is sending ships to Mars. The Brutaxian war machine is heading for Earth itself. Commander Kong Min-ho checked the weapon systems. This is exactly what we were afraid of. Galaxy has gone to war over human weapons. It's worse than that, said Kim Dong-yoon. I'm getting reports that aliens are fighting each other too. Everyone wants to get human weapons before their enemies do. So we started a galactic war, said Dr. Park Soman quietly. We didn't start anything, said Captain Ji-woo, but we're going to finish it. When they arrived at Kepler 44 to be, the sight was terrible. The planet was surrounded by burning ships. Human defense vessels were fighting desperately against huge Corvarian warships. There, said Commander Kong Min-ho, pointing at the planet's surface. The Corvarians have landed troops. Near the main city, Captain Ji-woo could see the battle on the planet through the ship's telescope. Human colonists were fighting alien soldiers in the streets. Buildings were on fire and people were running for their lives. Take us down, said Captain Ji-woo. Going to help defend the city? Captain, our ship isn't designed for ground combat, said Kim Dong-yoon. Then we'll have to improvise, said Captain Ji-woo. They landed the Harmony's Edge near the Human Defense Headquarters. Commander Kong Min-ho grabbed as many weapons as he could carry and led the team toward the fighting. The scene in the city was chaos. Human soldiers were using plasma rifles and fusion grenades to fight against Corvarian troops. The aliens were big and strong, but they were losing the battle. Why are we winning? Asked Dr. Park Soman as they ran through the streets. The Corvarians have better technology and more soldiers. Look at their weapons, said Commander Kong Min-ho. Dr. Park Soman looked at the alien soldiers. They were carrying human weapons, but they were using them wrong. They held the guns awkwardly and aimed too carefully. They were treating the weapons like delicate instruments instead of tools of war. They don't understand how to use them, said Kim Dong-yoon. Exactly, said Commander Kong Min-ho. They copied our weapons but not our tactics. They reached the defense headquarters, where Admiral Kim Syangjin was coordinating the battle. He looked surprised to see them. Captain Jiwoo, what are you doing here? Helping, said Captain Jiwoo. What's the situation? Strange, said Admiral Kim. The Corvarians should have won this battle easily. They have 10 times more soldiers than us, but they're losing. Because they're not fighting like humans, said Commander Kong Minho. They're fighting like aliens who happen to have human weapons. What? Do you mean? Asked Admiral Kim. Human weapons aren't just tools, explained Dr. Park Soman. They're designed to be used with human psychology and human tactics. The Corvarians are trying to use them like their own weapons. That's why Choi Yuna's training programs are so dangerous, said Kim Dong-yoon. She's not just selling weapons. She's teaching aliens how to think like humans. Speaking of Choi Yuna, said Admiral Kim, we got a message from her an hour ago. She's offering to sell weapons to both sides of this battle. Both sides? Asked Captain Jiwoo. She's selling human weapons to the Corvarians and better human. Weapons to us, said Admiral Kim. She doesn't care who wins, as long as she makes money. That's sick, said Dr. Park Soman. That's business, said a familiar voice behind them. Everyone turned to see Lieutenant Colonel Young Taemin walking into the headquarters. He was wearing a clean uniform and looked like he had just arrived from Earth. Young Taemin, said Commander Kong Minho, what are you doing here? Protecting Earth's interests, said Young Taemin. This battle is perfect for testing our new weapons. We're learning which designs work best in real combat. You're using this battle as a test? Asked Captain Jiwoo. Of course, said Young Taemin. How else can we improve our products? The Corvarians are paying us to fight against weapons we sold them last month? That's insane, said Dr. Park Soman. That's profitable, said Yang Taemin. Earth is making billions of credits from this war. People are dying, said Kim Dong-yoon. Aliens are dying, corrected Yang Taemin, and a few human colonists. The price of doing business. Captain Jiwoo had heard enough. You're under arrest for war crimes. I'm following direct orders from Earth Command, said Yang Taemin. You're the ones who will be arrested if you interfere with official Earth business. We don't care, said Commander Kong Minho. You should care, said Yang Taemin, because in 6 hours the real test begins. Choi Yuna is bringing her alien army here. It's the army trained in human tactics. What army? Asked Admiral Kim. 1,000 alien soldiers trained to fight like humans, said Young Taemin. They're going to attack this colony and we're going to see how well human-trained aliens fight against real humans. You're letting them attack? Asked Dr. Park Soman. We're encouraging them to attack, said Yang Taemin. Win or lose, we learn valuable information about our training programs. And if they win? Asked Captain Jiwoo. Then we know our training works, said Yang Taemin. And we can sell it to other civilizations. What about the colonists? Asked Kim Dong-yoon. Acceptable losses, said Yang Taemin coldly. Captain Jiwoo realized that her own government had become the enemy. Earth was willing to sacrifice its own people to test weapons and make money. We have to stop this, she said. We can't stop the future, said Yang Taemin. Humans are destined to rule the galaxy through superior firepower. Anyone who stands in the way will be destroyed, including other humans, asked Commander Kang Minho. Including anyone, said Yang Taemin, as alarms began to sound in the distance. Captain Jiwoo knew that the real battle was just beginning, but this time they wouldn't just be fighting aliens. They would be fighting against humanity's own greed and ambition. The question was, could they win a war against their own species? 6 hours later, Choi Yuna's alien army arrived at Kepler 4 for 2B. Captain Lee Ju-woo watched from the defense headquarters as 1,000 alien soldiers landed near the city. These aliens were different from the Corvarians. They moved like human. Soldiers held their weapons correctly and used smart tactics. They looked dangerous, said Commander Kong Minho. They should, said Lieutenant Colonel Yang Taemin. Choi Yuna spent 2 years training them. They know human warfare better than most human soldiers. You have to evacuate the civilians, said Dr. Park Soman. No, said Young Taemin. We stay and fight. This is the perfect test. Not letting innocent people die for your test, said Captain Jiwoo. You don't have a choice, said Young Taemin. I'm in command here now. Not anymore, said Admiral Kim Seong-jin. I'm relieving you of duty. You can't do that, said Yang Taman. I just did, said Admiral Kim. Captain Ji-woo, you're in charge of the defense. Captain Ji-woo felt the weight of responsibility. 50,000 colonists were depending on her to save them from an army trained to fight like humans. Plan, asked Kim Dong-yoon. We use the one advantage we still have, said Captain Ji-woo. We're real humans. They're just aliens pretending to be humans. The battle began at dawn. Choi Yuna's alien soldiers attacked the city using perfect human tactics. They moved in small groups, used cover effectively, and coordinated their attacks. For the first hour, they were winning. They're too good, said Commander Kang Min-ho as he fired his plasma rifle at the advancing aliens. They fight exactly like human Marines. That's the problem, said Dr. Park So-min. They're following human tactics perfectly. Too perfectly. Do you mean, asked Kim Dong-yoon? Real human soldiers don't follow tactics perfectly, explained Dr. Park So-min. They adapt, they improvise, they break the rules when they need to. Captain Ji-woo understood immediately. These aliens learned human tactics from books and training programs. But they didn't learn human creativity. So how do we use that? Asked Commander Kang Min-ho. We do things that aren't in any training manual, said Captain Ji-woo. She grabbed her communicator and spoke to all the human defenders. All units, listen carefully. Stop following standard tactics. Do crazy things. Be unpredictable. Confuse the enemy. What kind of crazy things? Asked a soldier. Use your imagination, said Captain Ji-woo. Do whatever the aliens wouldn't expect. The human defenders began to fight in ways that no military academy would approve. They used children's toys as weapons. They pretended to retreat, then attacked, from unexpected directions. They made loud noises to distract the aliens, then struck from behind. The alien army began to fall apart. They had trained to fight against organized human tactics, not against human chaos and creativity. It's working, said Kim Dong-yoon. The aliens don't know how to respond to random tactics. Of course not, said Dr. Park So-min. They're following a program. Humans write their own program as they go. Within 3 hours, Choi Yuna's perfect alien army was defeated. The soldiers who had trained for 2 years were beaten by human colonists who made up their tactics on the spot. Impossible, said Lieutenant Colonel Yang Taman. Those aliens were supposed to be as good as humans. They were as good as human soldiers, said Captain Ji-woo. But they weren't as good as human beings. What's the difference? Asked Yang Taman. Human soldiers follow orders, said Commander Kang Min-ho. Human beings think for themselves. After the battle, Captain Ji-woo called a meeting with all the important people on the planet. Admiral Kim was there, along with Yang Taman and even Choi Yuna, who had been captured during the fighting. We need to talk about what happens next, said Captain Ji-woo. Nothing happens next, said Yang Taman. We'll send more weapons and more soldiers. The weapons trade will continue. No, it won't, said Captain Ji-woo, because we're going to stop it. How? Asked Choi Yuna. You can't fight the entire Earth government. We don't have to fight Earth, said Dr. Park So-min. We just have to convince the galaxy that human weapons aren't as dangerous as they think. But they are dangerous, said Admiral Kim. Only when humans use them, said Captain Ji-woo. Today proved that aliens can't use human weapons effectively without becoming human themselves. And they can't become human. What are you suggesting? Asked Yang Taman. Create a new organization, said Captain Ji-woo. The Human Weapons Control Council. We will oversee all human weapon sales and make sure they're used responsibly. Earth will never agree to that, said Yang Taman. Earth won't have a choice, said Dr. Park So-min, because we're going to tell the galaxy the truth about human weapons. What truth? Asked Choi Yuna. That human weapons only work well for humans, said Commander Kang Min-ho. When aliens use them, they're not as effective. That's not true, said Choi Yuna. My weapons have won many battles. Your weapons won battles because the other side had even worse weapons, said Dr. Park So-min. But when aliens fight other aliens with human weapons, the side that thinks more like humans wins. So, asked Yang Taman, We teach aliens how to defend against human weapons, said Captain Jiwoo. We show them that human weapons aren't magic. They're just tools designed by humans for humans. Over the next few days, Captain Jiwoo and her team worked with Admiral Kim to create their plan. They would establish the Human Weapons Control Council with 3 simple rules. First, only defensive weapons would be sold to aliens. No planet-destroying bombs or invasion equipment. Second, every weapons sale would include training on how to defend against similar weapons. This would prevent any one alien race from becoming too powerful. Third, humans would provide military advisors to help alien civilizations develop their own defense strategies instead of just buying human weapons. This plan will work, said Dr. Park So-man, because it gives aliens what they really want: security. Most aliens don't want to conquer other worlds, said Admiral Kim. They just want to protect their own worlds. The plan worked better than anyone expected. When the galactic community learned that human weapons were less effective for aliens, the panic buying stopped. When they learned that humans would help them defend themselves instead of just selling weapons, many alien civilizations became interested. The Zephyrian Collective was the first to sign up. Their leader, Counselor Velthera, spoke to Captain Jiwoo through a video communication. Your people offer something new, said Velthera. Not just weapons, but wisdom. We would like human advisors to help us protect our worlds without becoming warriors ourselves. That's exactly what we want to provide, said Captain Jiwoo. What about Earth? Asked Velthera. Will your government support this plan? Some will, some won't, said Captain Jiwoo honestly. But enough humans believe in doing what's right. Instead of just making money, over the following months, the Human Weapons Control Council grew. Dozens of alien civilizations joined, and hundreds of human military advisors volunteered to help them. Choi Yuna was put on trial for war crimes, but she was also offered a chance to use her knowledge for good. She chose to help design defensive weapons instead of offensive ones. Lieutenant Colonel Yang Timan was sent back to Earth in disgrace, but his reports helped convince the Earth government that cooperation was more profitable than exploitation. We've changed everything, said Dr. Park So-man, as she watched human advisors working with alien engineers on a new defense system. Not everything, said Commander Kong Minho. Humans are still the most dangerous species in the galaxy. But now, we're dangerous in a good way, said Kim Dong-yoon. We're dangerous to anyone who threatens innocent people. Captain Jiwoo stood on the bridge of the Harmony's edge and looked out at the stars. The galaxy was still a dangerous place. It was becoming more peaceful every day. Human weapons were still the most powerful in the galaxy. But now they were being used to protect life instead of destroy it. The greatest human weapon, Captain, Jiwoo realized, had never been plasma rifles or fusion bombs. It had always been the human ability to choose between right and wrong, and for the first time in galactic history, the most dangerous species in the galaxy had chosen to use their power responsibly. The age of human dominance had begun. This was an age of protection, not conquest. And that, Captain Jiwoo thought, was exactly as it should be.